Hey guys, it's Dustin again. I'm coming to you with some new fragrances I got to try out. Got mailed into me today. Did a quick trial run on them. And the fragrances, the first one I am going to talk to you about in this video is Burberry Brit for him. Now, that's the one there. Comes in this kind of plaid type of square bottle with plaid checkering on it. And upon initial spray, well, let's go off of what Fragrant says for starters. So top notes are ginger, cardamom, green mandarin, and bergamot. Your mid is going to be wild rose, nutmeg, cedar, and spicy notes, whatever that means. And the base notes are going to be tonka, cedar, gray musk, patchouli, and oriental woodsy notes. And so for me, I sprayed this kind of heavy this morning, about 8 sprays. And let's get one up in the air. Yeah, definitely on the front, right away, you definitely get ginger. And right in the background of that ginger, you get a kind of a zesty bergamot. And I wouldn't say I get too much green mandarin, but definitely a little bit of that cardamom too. So I do see that fragrance kind of got that in the ballpark for sure. But as it dried down, for me, you definitely start getting a little bit of nutmeg mixing with some wild rose. Now, wild rose, to me, I live out here in Oregon, and in September time, you get wild roses along the creek banks, and they're pink, about 4 petals, and in September you can pick the hips or the little buds off the plant themselves. But when they almost give off a slight citrusy floral aspect, especially in the little buds themselves. But when you smell them, they're a very mellow rose type of smell, not a super in your face like a homegrown type of rose. And you definitely get the cedar coming through in the mid. But as it starts to dry down, you definitely get kind of a vanilla aspect, more than likely coming from the tonka bean. Still a little bit of cedar in the background, and you start getting that kind of patchouli in the background too. I don't get too much musk, but for me, I think this could be a signature scent for sure, but for me, the performance is where this was lacking for me. On 8 sprays, on my clothes especially. On my skin, I got maybe 2 hours on my skin, 2.5 hours on my skin before it became really faint. And on my clothes, I got about 3.5 hours before I really could barely pick it up. But here in Oregon, we are getting a cold front coming in, where we're supposed to get something like low 20s or something like that for the next few days. So, I mean, that's not to say that this might be something that will work better in the spring or summer. You might get more longevity out of it. But for me in the wintertime, it just 3 hours to 2.5 hours, that's kind of weak for me in my mind. The smell, I like the smell. I like the notes that I get out of it. It's a nice smelling fragrance, but just the longevity is where it is lacking. So from 1 to 10, I'm going to grade this on performance, versatility, and value. So for performance, I got about an hour of slightly above average projection, and then it went to about average after that, and then below average that next hour. So based on that, I'm going to give this about a 5.5 for performance. Now versatility, I think this could be a very good versatile scent. I could see this being something you could wear casually, just a white t-shirt, jeans, going to the beach or whatever. So versatility is definitely there. So I'm going to give it an 8 on versatility. Mostly because I don't see this being something you'd want to wear as a suit and tie or something like a black tie, black suit accord kind of thing. I don't see it being for that. So that's why I give it an 8. Now value, I've been seeing this kind of in that high 20s, low to mid 30s range for 100 ml. And if you get a tester, that's even better. But from what I've heard, the earlier batches of this, like the mid to late 2000s batches of this, are supposed to be stronger. I cannot seem to find when this one was made, but it's supposed to be a similar scent profile, but they do have a Burberry Brit Rhythm Intense that is supposed to be just a beast, and I'm definitely wanting to give that a shot. But as for this, the value, I mean, seeing there is quite a bit more fragrances out there in that price range that are definitely going to outperform this, as well as have more versatility and longevity. So I think for me the value is going to be right around a 6. So all in all, for me, it's going to be a 19 points out of 30 points. I mean, it's a good fragrance if you're just going to kick it and just chill at home, or if you're going to go to the beach. I have yet to see what this is going to do in the hotter months, in the summertime here in Oregon, or even in springtime. But I'm curious to see. I just want to spend a little bit more time with it before I say trade this thing off, and get to know it a little bit better, and I'll go from there. So this has been the review on Burberry Brit for men, and this is Dustin signing off. Talk to you later.